Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
hello.
Is this a Zoom? Yeah, this is Zoom. Okay, fine. All right, let me share my screen. Entire screen. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So you remember like the basics, right? It was a VWAP strategy, and I had a bunch of Excel spreadsheets. So I was able to do some programming in Thinkorswim, and then from there I'm able to export it to Excel, and then with Excel I'm able to kind of add some crazy formulas to it. So I kind of picked a rule where I start with 25,000, right?
Hmm.
The amount of contracts I trade is going to be, so since I have 25K, I have like my buying power is $100,000 because Thinkorswim gives me 4x leverage, right?
Hmm.
So times this times four, uh, I get $100,000 of buying power, and I wanted to use
So
ninety
you're
percent.
accounting for the interest?
What?
You're
There's no
accounting for the
interest
interest?
because you're in and
What do you
out
mean?
the same day.
Is there literally no interest if you're in and out the
Literally
same day?
no interest.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I've done it live.
And this is why everyone should day trade.
What?
And this is why everyone should day trade.
Sure. I mean, as
No,
long
you're
as you
saying
close
they
your
don't prorate
position.
the interest for 2 hours or whatever. There's no interest.
Well, I mean, you're not holding it. If you're,
But you used the money for a certain amount of time.
yeah, but you have to hold it overnight for it to accrue interest.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so how do I get 600 shares? I think I did plus this divided by this. Shit. So it's 622, but
Hmm.
I think I did it even more than that. So I think
You can do a round. You can put a round function around that stuff.
what?
If you use the round function, it'll round it to whatever you need to round it. Yeah, you can you know it. You know the round down. You know everything.
Yeah, I felt like I did 90% of it. Hold on. Okay, fine. So maybe I did 100, and I rounded it down to.
The nearest hundred.
Yeah, I rounded it down to the nearest 100, and I want to kind of keep it consistent, right? And I only think, I think in some point I used 90% of it somehow. But anyway, so I'm rounding it
If you do
down.
a point nine times what you have and then round up or down,
Yeah, but then it's 0.60. Then it's less than
then
600
it should
shares.
give you 500, not yeah.
So plus this divided by this. No, it's. I guess I used the full, but I rounded it down. So if it's this times this, so I basically spent 98,000. And I keep it consistent, right? So if I start off with 100K buying power. I want it to be that first day. I want it to be 600, and I want it to stick 600 for that rest of the day, right? So
Hmm.
you see, this is already the next day, 1.5, and that's still 600 because this amount of money times four lets me buy 600. So when you see a difference is, let's see, so right here I started 700 because this amount plus this
Yeah.
uh, divided by this lets me buy what? Oh wait,
What
what
did
was
you add?
this?
What did you add? Why are
Times
you adding
4.
things?
So it lets me buy 794, right? But
Oh, you round down to the 100, yeah.
I rounded down to the 100.
To the lower 100, I guess. Is that what's happening? No, why'd you buy 800 at the other times?
Because it was already 800.
Because it was a different price.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Okay.
But it was, hold on a second. Yeah, it was a different price and I had a little bit more capital. So we basically, we rounded down, right? So this was 794. We still rounded it down to 700. And that's
Mm-hmm.
how these are calculated, right? So you're with me so far. So then
Yep.
I wanted to kind of summarize this, right? So I made a pivot table and I was like, you know what? Show me a summary of this. So my summary is there was two trades. It was $600 for that whole day, 600 shares for that whole day. Gain or loss per share was $1.34, and the total gain or loss is $804.
Why are there two trades on that day versus 30 trades on a different day?
Because so we could pull up the WeWap. Hold on a second. I think. Yep.
Okay.
Pull up the WAP. Where's Cardi B? You heard the WAP song?
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't funny. Oh. Okay, let me log in really quick. Okay, so why did we do two, you asked? So it was 1/3/2018. Let's go to that date. One. So it was a Wednesday, and we had 600 shares. So we're gonna come here. We're gonna modify this to be 600, and click OK. Okay. So you said why was it only two trades? So the strategy is if it's, hold on a second, let me move this here. So the strategy is if it closes above WeWap, you go long. So right here we went long at 9:31, right? Like right at this little green thing. So we got 600 shares because that's how much we were able to buy with $100,000 worth of capital, rounded down. And we got in at 158.68, and it never touched WeWap again. So the WeWap is this purple line. So it literally never crossed it. So we got out at 160.02. We got out at the last candle right here. So we had a profit of $804, and you can see that right here. There's a floating P&L. There's a little 804 here. And if we come back to the spreadsheet, this ties to our spreadsheet. So we had 600 shares, 804, and we could see how that's calculated right here. So 931, $1.34, 158, right? 160. So the gain per share is 134. 134 times 600 is 804. Right? You with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was day one. So the next day you're starting off with 28. Wait, let me go back. The next day you're starting off with 28,803. So this times 4, right? You get a little bit over 100. You're still doing 600 shares. But this time you lost $474. And we can come back here. We could go to the next day and we could see why we lost that. So we started long. All right, let me zoom in here. We started short actually, right? Because this one closed under the purple line, so we started short. And this one closed over the purple line, so we flipped it long. So since we're trading 600 shares, what was it? Over here is 160.54, and this is 161.61. We're down $39 automatically, and you can see right here when I hover over this thing. Mm-hmm. And then again, it crossed. It didn't cross here. It didn't cross here. It came back. It crossed right here. So right here we went short, right from here. So that was another loss. So right here we're already down $108. Then it crossed right here. We made a little bit of money back, and now we're down to $69. Then it crossed again right here. We're down to 90. It crossed again right here, 120, right here, 144, and so on until 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock was, well, 3:59 was the last trade, and over here we're down 461. And if we come here to the Excel sheet, it's 474, but they sometimes have their math isn't correct, but it's close enough. Mm-hmm. You could pick a different date. You could pick a random date. Let's see. Let's do this one. 5/7/2018. All right, so 5/7. Okay, 5/7/2018. We're down 413. Oh wait, so we did 1,200 shares. So I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna modify this to 1,200. And click OK. Click OK. So 824, 840. Close enough. This is usually wrong, and this is correct. Let's pick a day where we made some money. Let's see. Right here we made 1953, 523. Sorry, 523. So right here we made. Oh, we're trading 900 shares. So let's come back and we'll modify this. Okay, so with 900 shares, we're up 1960. And if we come here, 1953, close enough. I mean, we could go through the math, and I'll show you where it's off, but it's like really dumb. Like they don't calculate it correctly all the time. And if we could come into here. So here, let's actually see where it's off. We had the first trade, we lost 458, 459. So plus this times this, right? So 459. So their calculation is off. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, yeah. Okay, so then the next trade, we lost 36, fine. Then it's 90, okay. Then it's 63, then it's 18, 18, 20, 18, 18, 27, 67, 27. This is 72. And this is 1800. And then we made back 1800. And then overall, we're up 1920. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, I'm sorry, I'm probably driving you crazy. Yeah?
So this is pretty good.
Okay. So
But this is
now,
not what you did. This is just what the model did. What the like.
no, this is what I did. So now what I did is I want to know my date, right? Since I summarized it by date, I want to know the date. I want to know where I opened, right?
Mhm.
I'm already calculating fees over here also. There's section 31 fees, there's commissions. So I want to know the date. I want to know the open, right? So this just pulls in a formula of the open. This pulls in a formula of the highest amount during that day. This pulls in the formula of the lowest amount during that day, and this pulls an amount of the close. And this is how many trades. This is how many shares, gain or loss per share, gain total, section 31, and commission. So what I did is I used Power BI,
Mhm.
right? And with Power BI, I can program it, right? I can feed that Excel and I could see it visually, right? So like if I started this strategy in 2025, right? I have a separate tab of all those summaries in 2025, right? As a 2025 summary. And basically, the first day was 300 shares, right? And right here, you could see we opened at we opened with 24,870. The highest point we went to was 20.56. The lowest was 24, and we closed at 24.70, 736. So we had
Mhm.
23 trades. We traded 100 shares. Oh wait, this is wrong. Um, yeah, let me do this. We will come back here, 2025. And it was the second, right? So the second will modify this to be 100 shares. Uh, okay. So you can see we lost $254. And if we come back here, 264, right? You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. The change is a little off. So the next day we went lower again, and then we made some money. We made some money. We lost some money.
Mhm.
We lost some money. We lost some money. We lost some money. And then
Mhm.
over here we were at like 35. Was it
Mhm.
April 4th? And then this day was brutal. We lost a lot. This day we made some back. This day we made it all back. Then we lost a little. We lost a little. But I basically what I could do is if I filter this from 2018 and I
Mhm.
look at it in like 5 years, it went from 25K to 30 million, right? Or
Mhm.
29.43. If I started this in 2019, it went from 25K to 7.6 million,
Mhm.
right? If I started this in 2020, It
Mm-hmm.
went from 25K to 6 million. If I started this in 2021, it went from 25K to 750,000, right? And you could see like day by day, and you could compare it to that chart and that graph and the spreadsheet. If I
Mm-hmm.
started in 2022, I would have turned 25K to 215,000. So it's like about 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if I started this in 2023, it would have went January 2023 till now. It would have made 20K, so 55,000 from 25K to 55K total, and that's 59% higher, right? And I could see like every single day what happened visually, and I can even add some MACD over here, so I could see like the moving average. Uh, and then if I started in 2024, it went from 25K to 45K. Um, and then if I started it in 2025, it would have just went up 3K. So it's been a kind of a wild roller coaster. I can also see it in dark mode, right? I can see the volume here. This is how many trades. I can see. What else can I see? So basically, I mean, let's pick another day. Let's see. Let's do this day, right? So we had a $1,500 gain, and this is if we started this
$1,500.
strategy in 2025.
Ah.
So it's February 27th, right? February,
Mm-hmm. What's February 27th?
the date that we're gonna look at.
Sure. Oh, why?
So February 27th, where is it? This one. So we made $1,500 and we traded 150 shares. Let's see.
Mm.
So we're gonna modify this to be 150. And then you could see how we made $1,500. So right here it says on the bottom 1552.17, and over here we are, where's March? Where is it? February 27, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
1535. So we're a little off. Oh, 1551, and this is 1552. We're a dollar off. So basically, we started the day going long, then we went short. We were down 183, then we went long. We're down 196, then we came back short right here. So we're down 210. Then we made some good money right here, right? This was a good trade. So we're up 706, then we're down to 648. Then we got crushed a little bit over here, so we're down to 509, then 444. Then we got crushed a little bit more. So over here we were down to $63 because it just kept giving us paper cuts. But that last trade made up for it because we went from here to here, which is about $10. And that's how we made that $1,500. Make sense?
Yeah.
And we could pick a different day. Like the next day, we would start off with more capital,
Mm-hmm.
but it would. So now we could buy 200 shares, right? So if we come here to the next day, right, February 17th, so 18, right? So the next day was good too. Oh, the next day was actually, wait. February. Where were we? 17. No, wait. February. Huh? No, we were at February. Huh? Oh, we're here. We were February 27th, so February 28th. My bad. February 28th, which was a Friday. And that day, we got to use 200 shares because we had a little bit more capital. So we were up 13.11 according to this. And if we come here, we are up 13.10. But then after the fees, there's $12 of Section 31 fees and there's 53 cents of commission. You're down to 1,200. So this bar only moves 1,200, but the gain or loss that shows without the fees is 1,300, and it shows that same thing over here. And basically, again, we started short. Even though we flipped, we still made some money. We were up like $300 here. Wait, $76. And then we flipped 60, 200, 96. Then it came right here. We were up 350, 240. We gave some back. We were down to negative 52. We were down negative 106. And then from here, which is 501.17 till 508, was all profit. And we made $1,300. And this Power BI thing is like really cool because I could see day, month, 3 months, 6 months, year to date. I could change the start date to be like 2024. From 2018, I could like compare when I started and see what it would have done. I could see it in light. I could see it in dark. I could see the volume. I could see all this detail over here. And it's a very visual, beautiful tool. Now, what do you think?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And you did all of this without coding in Python or R, correct?
Correct. But I could
Genius.
actually publish this. And where's the publishing thing? I don't know why this doesn't work. I'm trying to
You're
get
saying
Copilot.
you could like give people this template so that they could do this with their own thing?
Um,
Or you could make
uh,
this actual thing available for people so that they could see how your strategy would perform.
yes.
Ah, and you could do that if I had a fund. Let's say Ellie Rose would, or anybody else would have a particular strategy, and they would want to tell you to make this strategy, to like make this visualization for their strategy.
Uh
You
huh.
could do that.
Yeah, basically.
That's cool. That's a
You can do a
service.
lot of cool things with Power BI. I don't.
Yeah, sure.
Power BI is pretty wild. But what else? I could click dark. I could do light. I could do these moving averages, and it just works so beautiful. No? How cool is this?
Mhm. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I want to add one more thing where I could like move this around because if I do
Wait, what happened just
2018,
now when you moved it around?
what?
Move it around.
If I do 2018 and I do 5 years, it like gets very granular and I can't see what's
Oh, can you
going
zoom
on.
in and out or no?
What?
Can you zoom in and out or no?
Right, so that's the problem. I can't do that.
Okay.
So what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of use this as zoom in and out because this would be the ending date. and I would
Mm-hmm.
just be like, okay, from here to there, I want to see 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
ending January, ending 2019, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could be like, okay, show me 6 months ending this date. So I gotta figure out how to integrate this into all of this as well.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I think you're a genius.
Yeah, you'll invest into this fund?
Uh, well, so who else has invested?
Who else do you need?
So basically, the way it works
Warren
is
Buffett.
to get somebody to invest in your fund, you have to have their friend or some other really rich or genius guy invest in your fund.
Yeah,
So,
but the
for
thing
example,
is,
if you
this
get Mark
he,
Andreessen
he,
to invest in your
here's the
fund,
problem with
then I'll
this.
invest in your fund. What?
Here's the problem with this. You can't, if you have too much money, like big hedge funds can't use this strategy because they're gonna move the market, and this is intended for someone who cannot move the market. Like if you're using a certain amount of capital, you're gonna get so much slippage that this strategy wouldn't be worth it. So this strategy is meant for the little guy, right? You don't want to
So you're
use.
saying it's not really going to work once you get to the $20 million mark.
It's not even gonna work once you pass the 5 million mark. So and even like I'm not even sure when it's gonna stop working, but I'm assuming you could probably push like 3 4 million, and it'll be smooth. After that, we're gonna have to analyze and
Can you
see.
do this with a different, can you do this with a lot of different index funds or something?
Well, I only tested it on this one
Right,
index,
right,
which is the Nasdaq, and this is the most popular
right.
index, and this index trades the most. Like
More than
take off,
SPY or
if I
anything.
take off this on demand, right, you could see 3, 10, 100, 200, 1,000, right? Like this thing trades per second. There's hundreds of buyers, and what this is level 2, right? So this is telling you that there's 19, 20, 12,
Yeah,
1, 2, 11, and these are lots. So that means this times 100. That's how many shares you could purchase at this
right,
exact price.
right.
But you're not always going to get. You're not always going to get the execution at the close of that candle. You might
Mhm.
sometimes get good slippage or bad slippage. The point is to get average slippage to be the same as the
Mhm.
close of the candle. So this was
Mhm.
today, for example. Today I would have lost $164
Mhm.
implementing this strategy with 200 shares.
Mhm.
Um, but basically, hold on a second. So this candle's about to close, and the close of that candle is what we would intend to get. So once it closes, I would just like time it. I would click sell. I would click sell, or I just like keep clicking this button, reverse now, every time it crosses. And I
Mhm.
could like set this to 200, and then just click I would start off with buy or sell, and then every time it crosses, I would just do reverse, 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 and then at 359, I would just click flatten, and that would be the end of the day for me. So what do you think?
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I don't
good.
know about crazy, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, I don't know. So what's the point?
What's the point of what?
Have you been doing this with real money?
I have, but I didn't stick to my strategy because I don't know, like you like lose much more than you gain, so the time for it
The
to like
volatility.
lose,
The volatility is high.
it's not high. It just like drives me crazy, right? And I'll be like, yo, I can't take this anymore. Like I'm already down
So
six
practically
hundred
speaking,
dollars.
yeah.
Like
So
I'm down
practically speaking,
$600 in 15 minutes. Like what the hell, bro? I don't like this. I don't want to be down. Is it gonna keep going like this? Am I gonna be down $4,000 in an hour? Like this is brutal. I can't hold this. I'm down $800 here. So it'd be like, you know what? I can't take it anymore. Today is not the day. I'm down $900. I'm done for the day. And as soon as I get out, it does something like this, and then I kick myself for not doing it.
right? So
Some
you
days
want
I'm
to look
like, you
for a
know what?
strategy
Let
that
me
you
not
can actually
follow
do.
this. Let me just go long. Let me just go short. And
Yeah.
I don't stick to it. But if I stick to it, I started off when I started this, I was sticking with it regardless if it went up or down. I just like it was like robotic. I just click it, and as much as it hurt, I would have just ate the loss. But
Mhm.
for whatever reason, I got started off pretty lucky, and I was like up maybe like $12,000,
Mhm.
and then I ended up giving some back, and then I ended up not following my strategy, and then I don't know, I was like net negative down $6,000. But if I
Mhm.
stuck with it, right? Let's say we actually started in 2024, right? So
Mhm.
let's see. If I stuck with this through 2024, I would have done pretty well. Uh, Here's the start. Well, that's not actually the start. That's that is the start. Okay, so January 2024, and in 2 years it would have turned to 45K. But look at this day, bro. This day was brutal. This was like the worst day ever. I don't know what the hell happened here. April 7, 2025. This was down 31%. I
It's
was
called
down
tariffs.
$18,000.
It's called tariffs.
Yeah, it's called tariffs. So let's see what actually happened, because this day is pretty freaking wild. This is like the craziest day ever for this trade.
Wasn't there also a day when
Yeah, the next day it came right freaking back. But
the truth
let
is, okay, look,
hold on a second.
all
Hold
they're
on.
doing is insider trading. The entire Trump saying this and that, it's all an insider trading scheme.
All right, so hold on a second. What day was it?
This tariff, that tariff, no
April
tariffs
7,
negotiation.
2025.
It's all
Okay.
like the day before he calls Rex Tillerson or whatever other crony and says, "Hey, buy 17 trillion of these options." And then they just do it and then they just make quintillions of dollars.
Right.
I'm basically certain.
So hold on a second. So
Yeah.
look at this. This just wipes out so much gain right here. You're down 3,000. This goes from here $21 to here, which is 18. This just wiped out $3 worth of gain, right? In one freaking candle. Like, why is it moving from 21 to 18 in 1 minute? It's like not normal.
Oh,
Then it
that's
comes
1 minute?
right freaking back up.
Mm.
It goes another $3 up. Like, it doesn't take freaking 5 minutes to go $3. That's not normal. So this day was the worst day, and this is why. And if you had 200 shares, you would be down 6,700. But
Yeah.
because we had 550 shares, we were up at 58,000. Wait, we were up at $64,000 for until April
Crazy.
7 for 2024.
Mhm.
And what was it 50? Wait, yeah, 550 shares. So we'll come back here. We'll click this. We'll click this. We'll do 550. So that's where that 18,000 comes from. 18,661, and this is 18,594. So it's like $60 off.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was pretty brutal. That knocked out 30%. But then look at this day. This day it just shot up. So this day we made $13,000, and that's April 9th.
Mhm.
And we were not doing well. And then we went from 420 to freaking 465, bro. So 420, this is like $40, $45. This is wild. $45, bro.
Mhm.
And like 3 hours. So that's April 9th. And then we gave some back the next day. We
Yes,
gave a little
April
bit.
9th. That was it.
Yeah,
April 9th. That was the biggest day in history for insider
that was the
trading.
biggest day. Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
got some Tesla on that day. I was like lucky. It shot up, and then I was like, yo, I made a bunch of money. And then the next day I gave it all back. And then, but then it came back up. Today was pretty good.
Dude,
Yesterday was
this
pretty
is,
good.
you see how this is a casino.
What?
This is a casino.
Yeah, but this is a casino where you're stacking the odds against you. If you could be robotic, if you could stick to this,
Maybe, yeah,
it
maybe. The
pays
question
off.
is, can you program a bot? Can you program a bot that'll just do this and leave it alone?
So I'm actually talking to someone about that, and he's working on it, but he's just taking forever, and I don't know what's going on. But he did
You want to
show
talk to
me
Ellie Rose about that?
what?
Ellie Rose can program bots, I think.
Is he a developer?
He is, in fact, employed as a quantitative developer. I think so.
Okay, so I mean, I don't know. We could show him this. We could show him this, and we could see
But
what he
he's not
thinks.
going to like your strategy. He doesn't think you're a big genius. But I think he knows how to program the thing. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
He doesn't. I mean, he just doesn't really. I don't know. What's not to like about this, though?
The fact that you haven't been doing, like, go and do it. That's the, like,
Go and do what? I
the
just told
question
you
is,
why I
the
didn't
question
do.
is, will your bot, whoever's pushing the buy and sell buttons, will they really be able to do the thing in the right way fast enough? That's one of the questions.
What?
Will they really be able to do the thing in the right way?
Well, it draws it out for you. It tells you when to buy and when to sell. So you just stick with it,
Hmm.
and that's it.
Hmm.
Like you wait right here, you see that it's crossing over, you see that it's gonna close, you just
Hmm.
click reverse, and that's it.
Hmm.
But if you could program a bot to do this, and you could, right? Because I have someone working on this right now. You could program a bot to do it, and he showed me like the whole API thing and how it triggers, and I was like, oh shoot, you got it to trigger. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
But I don't really know what is going on with that. But
Hmm.
yeah, if there was a bot doing it, I think these results would be fairly accurate.
Hmm.
Because the human is like, it messes with you psychologically. And I don't know. So I don't know what Ellie Rose wouldn't like about this, but I don't see anything that's not to like. If the numbers make sense.
Sure.
You're a mathematician. Is there something here that's not
Well,
true?
when your bot is doing this for you, right?
Yeah.
And then you go and you see you're down $6,000. Are you gonna go turn it off?
I'm not. No.
Why not?
Because I'm not even gonna look at it. I don't know. When you have your brokerage, right? And you see you're up $10,000, are you gonna go and sell all your stocks?
Depends. Maybe.
What?
Maybe.
Okay, and then you're gonna buy when it goes back up.
No, no, no. I'm not gonna do
So your
anything. But
strategy is to buy high, sell low.
sometimes.
Okay. But yeah, I don't know if you, I mean, the goal is to put enough money where you're like, and it doesn't have to do good. That's another thing. It doesn't have to do anything. It doesn't have to make money. It doesn't have to. It could make money, but it could also lose money. So whatever happened in the past does not have to happen in the future.
Right. So you're saying the fact that you made billions of dollars if you would have done this before doesn't mean that you're going to make billions of dollars in the future. So
Not
why are you telling
billions.
me that if you're trying to sell me on the fact that this is very good?
What?
Why are you telling me that if you're trying to tell me you have an amazing strategy?
But it still works. Like it still works 2 years later, or like every year I'm starting it fresh, right? And I'm back testing it fresh from scratch. And
Yeah,
every
okay.
year it shows me that the market pays. Like there is more money to be made in this. Like if you compared this to, let's say, Spy, right? Freaking Spy year to date, or let's say Tesla. Let's say you brought Tesla and you've brought it. Let's say you brought it in the beginning of the year. So how do I do this year to date?
Mhm.
Weeks, time frame. Custom from 125 to now. Okay. So let's say you brought this. Huh, I don't know why it's adding that strategy.
I think I have to go because I just want to go outside before I have another tutoring session. And
Okay.
I think I have to go. You live on Ocean Parkway, correct?
Yeah,
And is that Kensington?
that is Kensington. Yeah.
Is it like the Goyim call it Kensington?
What?
What's the Jewish name for the neighborhood?
The Jewish name?
Yeah.
Borough Park. But that I don't live in Borough Park.
So, so would you say you live in Kensington?
I do live in Kensington.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, I'm just stupid. Okay.
Yeah.
The house that I just talked to somebody about is in Kensington, very close to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, if you brought Tesla in the beginning of the year, you would have been down like 50%. If you brought into this, you would have been up 13% year to date.
Hmm.
It's pretty good, no? If you
Yeah.
brought this a year ago, you would have been up 79%. If you brought this 2 years ago, you would have been up. Uh, you would have been up actually quite a lot.
14 trillion percent.
You would have been up. No, you would have been up like 150%. I
Pretty good.
this this like when you do 5 years, it does this. I don't know why, but basically from 25K to 55, like I guess like 110%. If you bought this in 2022,
Hmm.
you would have made 10x, right?
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
I don't know. It's pretty consistently up. Some days it goes down. So right here was, I don't know, 155, and then you came all the way down to 120. But yeah, still pretty beautiful.
Pretty good.
Right here, I guess it was flat. Right, it was June 26, 2023 to a whole year. I guess you made nothing. If you got it over here, 167, you probably would have just been down. So I guess this wasn't a great year, but other than that, not terrible.
Hmm.
Okay, let me let you go. Thank you.
I gotta go because yeah. Um, so this could take you up to $4 million, and then it's not gonna be good anymore.
What?
Do that. Get $4 million. That's pretty good.
Yeah, get me a bot. I'll put money into it.
So ask Ellie Rose if he can make a pot.
I don't want to ask Ellie. I don't like Ellie.
Okay, so don't ask him. Okay, fine.
I have someone else. I have a couple people actually working on
Okay,
it.
good. Good.
Okay.
What's new? You were looking for a job?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought
My
you had to
physics
go.
teacher. Right. Okay, I'll call you.
What? Yeah, call me from outside.